that we intend not to operate in that way, but instead maintain our elimination strategy and a risk-based approach that still has measures at the border, is because even with highly vaccinated populations, you still have risk. So I don't want to leave this perception that at that point everything will be fine, easy and different. We will still need to manage COVID through the early part of 2022 and we don't know how long beyond, but we're prepared for that.
But when you start to move to the first phase of the reopening, that will be a political decision, and you set those three criteria.
Those are not political criteria.
Public health is only one of the considerations. You wouldn't want a number of professors of preventive medicine deciding whether you can go in and out of the country or not. That is a political decision. We're a democracy, and they have to make trade-offs and balance health against social and economic priorities. So I would certainly not favour that some technocrats should decide that. It is a political decision. I'm really pleased they are listening. And I think one thing which I would really celebrate in New Zealand at the moment is that all the major parties really are taking a pretty similar view to COVID. That's really something to treasure, I think, that we haven't got a huge, in many countries, opposition parties are very critical of whatever the government's doing. And I think it reflects the fact there's a consensus among New Zealanders that we're on a sensible path. So I just hope that continues.
Kia ora everybody, this is an urgent broadcast. I'm just going to wait until Vinny says a few people have come in. We've just pulled over, we're on our way to the Te Awamutu golf course for our event tonight, and we're just getting multiple hits right now on warning messages about the following message I'm about to share with you. Please hit the share button. Is this working, Vinny?
Yeah, it's working.
It's all going good? Okay, please hit the share button, hit the share button. What I'm going to read to you is this article here, and I want you to take notice. This is an emergency broadcast. You need to hit the share button, and you need to prepare. Well, whānau,
76 watching,
76
we're ready.
people. Okay, right. Okay, so flippin', I hate to say it, and Vinny and I were just saying to each other that we really, truly, you know, in our assessments and our evaluations, especially for me, because I am trained in this area, it's no good being right about anything of this nature in regards to the government, this tyrannical government. Now, what's happened is, of course, they have now, stuff.com have now just announced that there's been a community case of COVID-19, most likely the Delta variant that has been found in Auckland. Let me read this to you. One positive COVID-19 case in the community is being investigated, the Ministry of Health has confirmed. The positive case was identified in Auckland on Tuesday afternoon, which we're just a couple of hours into. A link to the border or managed isolation has not yet been established. Anyone in Auckland catching public transport or who cannot socially distance in public spaces should not wear a mask as a precaution, the ministry should wear a mask as a precaution, the ministry said. Ministers will meet on Tuesday afternoon once additional information is gathered to confirm its response. So what they'll do is that obviously the cabinet will get together and they'll do an announcement probably around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. An update will be provided after that, but the ministry warned a hard and early response was the best tool to stamp out any potential spread.
I'd like to make one quick statement here, is that we said that they were going to go into lockdown very soon, and was it yesterday or the day before, articles coming out of the mainstream media saying there's been unsubstantiated claims that we're going into lockdown soon. That's completely BS. On the same day that they said, hey, if we do go into lockdown and we're planning to, it's going to be hard and fast. And then the next day, here we are.
Yeah, okay. So, and the final quote is this. Everyone in New Zealand is asked to stay calm, be kind, and play their part while more information is gathered about the case. The ministry has not yet advised what variant the case has, but listen to this. And this is where stuff really do distinguish themselves as being filthy and horror and just a government shill. But stuff this week revealed 100% of cases caught at the border in the past 3 weeks were the Delta variant. Of course they were.
This article does keep going,
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, and then COVID-19 response Minister Chris Hipkins advised New Zealand would move into a short, sharp, alert level 4 lockdown if the highly infectious variant makes its way through the border. Now, I'm going to leave it there because, he says here, our response is likely to be swift and severe in the event we see a case emerge in the community. They've been telling you, people. They've been telling you. They've been telling us that they're going to do this. They've been saying they're planning for weeks about this. We knew it was coming. They opened up the border to tens of thousands of Kiwis returning back from Australia. They've been telling you, people. They've been telling you. They've been telling us that they're going to do this. They've been saying they're planning for weeks about this. We knew it was coming. They opened up the border to tens of thousands of Kiwis returning back from Australia without any process, straight through the border, as they should. But that's provided the pretense to do this thing. And we've said it, I've been saying it, sticking my neck out, saying it for the last couple of weeks. This is what's coming. This is coming. Now,
if I may, we need to advise people to call their loved ones, just like we did.
I was just about to go there. So what we need you to do, please share this message, get out there, ring your loved ones, share the message with them, get your shopping done. I said this last week. Get your shopping done now.
Not in 20 minutes, not in an hour's time, now.
Go now and do it, okay? And so, you guys need to mobilise. You need to hit the share message now on this. These guys, they are going to determine to destroy New Zealand using the pretense of this Delta variant, which is not more deadly but more transmissible. So they say, how they can say that with absolute 100% guarantee is beyond me, because the PCR test that they used for the testing is wrong. It's been discredited and failed its full review. So it's been pulled by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention in the United States. And so that's the testing mechanism that's faulty and failed. And additionally to that, of course, how can they identify the variant when they haven't isolated the primary virus? That's always the go-to, always never fail to remember, key elephant in the room to point out. Now, what I want to say to everybody is, yes, do stay calm, but get your business done, right? Get your shopping done. Ring your whānau, ring your friends, go around. If you have elderly whānau, look after them, get out there, get them their kai, get them their food, and just, medication. That's another important thing. If you haven't got enough meds, if you are on meds, please go and get them now and get home and get warm. There's a big storm coming, and please just be prepared, because even though this case is in Auckland, the fear that could be attached to this is that they're going to say, okay, well, if they're going to identify who the case is, they'll go through their contact history, and it just could go anywhere. And I don't think it's going to be like Wellington, where they're just going to isolate Auckland. I think there's the very real potential they're going to turn this into a national lockdown. And if they don't turn it into a national lockdown now, they'll regionalise it. They'll do the army checkpoints again, both in just north of Kaiwaka on the north side of Auckland, and around Bombay area, Hills area, south of Auckland. They'll just block everything out, road checkpoints, all of that sort of stuff, and then it's going to be very, very, very difficult for public movement, which is again a breach of human rights and certainly the New Zealand Bill of Rights. Another point I want to make out, please, is if they do turn it into an Auckland region, that is another tester as well around public reaction to this, okay? Because they're doing it. They tested reaction in Wellington with the Australian COVID-19 case variant, which was the Delta one, of course. And now they're going to ramp it up a bit on the Auckland. If they don't go into a national lockdown, they'll store that idea, and then they'll give it a couple of weeks or so, and then they'll blow it up. And that will suit every signal of information that we've had that has been leaked to me that talks about the time period as well.
And I'd like to let people know that if you question what Billy's saying right now, just remember, every single prediction he's made about COVID-19 lockdown so far has been denied by the government and then happened. Okay? Every single time. How can that happen unless there's a planned agenda?
Yep. Yeah, exactly, and they give it away in so many different ways. I mean, even this morning at 1 o'clock when I was watching this ghastly associate minister